Alright, good morning everyone. It is 11 o'clock here on 263rd Street in Union Turnpike in Glen Oaks. Here at the Q46 bus stop. Thankfully, I'm only walking to get to Glen Oaks today. But we're having major problems with Queens Village yet again. Runs have been missing today. In fact, let's see if the schedule's been updated. Nope. We're not on the current September 2018 schedule. Because again, Polly Trottenberg apparently left us out for dark in this part of Queens. I'm not getting on board. Two of my fellow other strap hangers who were supposed to be on board with me earlier on at Long Island Jewish apparently gave up, came over here. I wanted to walk to Glen Oaks because I'm actually meeting a friend on the... You might know who this friend of mine is. I've mentioned it before. I've gone to his house numerous times, so first time in a while I'm seeing him in an hour. But I hope this does not happen to the 1201 bus to Little Neck later on, because if it does, I may have to just walk. I may just have to walk and then take the Q30 later on when I come visiting my friend later this afternoon. Because I do have to get back to Crush Meadows. But yeah, we are having a problem. It's 11:01 right now. Again, the run is not here. We simply don't know where this bus is. And honestly, again, this is not fair to my fellow strap hangers. This is not fair to them. And later on in this video, I will be reacting to comments from Matt Camper, who today was at the board meeting. Not the board meeting, the committee meeting, yeah, because the whole board meets on Thursday for the MTA, which, ironically, this is taking place the same day the committee is meeting for New York City Transit. And I mean, go figure that one out. So it's 11:02 right now, and the run should be leaving Long Island Jewish. But if it doesn't, and that's going to be a problem, because then there's supposed to be another bus coming from 260th Street down there, and these people are just better off walking to 260th Street and then hoping that a bus comes from that direction. See? Right here, 260, it's like 3 blocks away. I was here waiting for the bus, like, no, I know how to play Queens Village's games. I go to 260th Street, I wait for the bus. I had a good walk from Long Island Jewish. I'm very happy in this weather. I don't care. I did not want to play Queens Village's games today. Just to what? Make a right on Lakeville and then make another right here on Union Turnpike? No. Alright, I got dropped off in this area for a purpose. I had a very good walk here. Oh, apparently, the only best way to get around in New York City is walking. I know, even in the outer boroughs, it's a joke. But if you're that desperate, and if you can, like I can, please, if possible, just walk. Because you're not getting anywhere if you stand around like an idiot and wait for a bus service that's just not going to do its job. And again, it's just disgraceful. And we have another epic fail. The QM6 is coming. QM6 is actually coming. It just left North Shore Towers, and here it is, right in front of me. So now those people who are going to Manhattan have bus service, and yet the people who want to transfer to the subway, they don't have their service. Because again, you know why, Queens Village just does not care. Queens Village Bus Depot, and I've said this again, I'm going to say it again. You have people coming in from TransDev. Why are they hiring people from Nice Bus, you may be asking? Because, again, that's what it is at Queens Village these days. And again, these people who work for TransDev didn't even work for the old MTA Long Island bus. I know it's the same fact over and over again. Here comes an eastbound bus, which, this is a decent sight. So let's see, I think this is going to be the 11:02 bus that left Long Island Jewish. It better be coming, because if it's at a red light, these two people are not going to be happy. Yep, here it comes. Finally came. You guys got lucky. That's the 11:02 that left Long Island Jewish. Alright, so this is an... Oh, boy. Look at this. 6428's doing the run. This is on the 46 run numerous times. In fact, this is interesting. They have a Mount Sinai Hospital thing over here. Yeah, take a look. See? Yep, and like I figured, that bus is already, guess what? Overcrowded. Think that these people just don't understand that the fastest way to get around New York City, even though it is slow, is by walking on your own 2 feet. Epic fail on 6869. ABD on the back is not working. Once again, if you didn't hear the number, it's 6869, and it's going westbound to the Kew Garden subway station. Which again, this is my point with Queens Village. They plain simple do not care. We are on line 7 Old Gen 6865. First ever journey on this part of the Q46 route. And a little familiar piece of Glen Oaks coming up, as we will be going past the Glen Oaks Oval. And of course, you do have the back of the parking lot for the Glen Oaks Shopping Center. And I know for a fact that this part of the 46 route has been around probably for the past 15 to 20 years, because that's what it claimed on Wikipedia, that it was an extension to have this part of the route, because you do have the people who live in the Glen Oaks complex area. So here we are at the famed Glen Oaks Oval. And look at this, the playground's still here. We still remember every time when we picked up children in this area, before I went to Gersh Academy, we always used to pass by this playground. And ironically, that's 260th Street, the Oval. And here is 73rd Avenue, which if you go that way, that actually cuts right into Long Island Jewish Medical Center. We are about to make our final descent to 260th Street here on Little Neck Parkway. And coming up, we just passed the Queens County Farm, and look at this, animals! Yep, like I figured, I knew we were going to pass the Queens County Farm Museum, because I'm like, wait a minute, we're making a left on 73rd Road? That's where people normally park to get to the museum. Queens County Farm Museum. And here we are, our final stop. Go out the back door. Yeah. So if you ever want to come to the Queens County Farm Museum, you can also take this part of the route and you can walk down there. You go right to the museum. A little bit out of the way, but you know, it happens. So of course I gotta cross over there. Yeah, the bus is gonna make a right turn. Ooh, I better hurry up. I wanna make this light. Thankfully, I just made this light. Wow. Wow. I luckily just made this light. You push the button?
Wait. It's my favorite time of the month again. The monthly segment. I'm going to make sure I keep doing this monthly. Of me reacting to the public comments from the MTA committee meetings. And I will be back at it again on Thursday if I see some interesting public comments from people at the board meeting, which, again, we know the people are going to complain about Staten Island bus, and we're probably going to hear from People's MTA again. Would I be surprised? No. But thankfully, People's MTA doesn't show up until the full board is there. And if you didn't notice today, acting chairman Fernando Ferrer had the place over him next to Andy Byford. So remember, we're still with Fernando Ferrer until Andrew Cuomo, the governor here in New York, appoints a new chairman to the MTA. So the interesting thing about today was, and you might recognize this guy in the background, my fellow colleague slash personal friend Matt Camper was actually right there in the white shirt. So I think I have my mouse off, but if you can see the white shirt, that's Murray Bowden and that's Jason Pinero. And if I'm correct, I believe that's Omar Vera in the yellow shirt. So the four speakers today were Jason Pinero, Matt Camper, Murray Bowden, and Omar Farah. Which I will want to mention this again. I do want to get Omar and Jason on my channel in the future, because that's what I'm working on for the 2019 agenda. So anyhow, right now we are going to go to Jason's comment first. So thankfully I have the feature here. You're seeing in the bottom of the screen. And I am wearing headphones because, like I did last month, the headphones are supposed to prevent echoing. So that way you all don't hear what's going on in the background. So let's play Jason's comments first.
Good morning, Mitch.
Good morning.
And Phil. This month, the Long Island Railroad performance has been, let's say in one word, a disgrace.
It has been a disgrace because look how bad it's been in the past month. All right? Look, I know in the past month Matt Camper has done a terrific job talking about what happened. Right? I'll give him credit for that. But what I've seen on the railroad is that we're back to what the railroad was like during the Nowakowski days. So let's see what Jason has to say the rest.
Having trains canceled with no explanation whatsoever. I know that this issue has been brought by myself and others, and one of those people is here today to speak regarding their daily nightmare riding the Long Island Railroad. And we need to shake up management. Phil, we know that we appreciate you as the Long Island Railroad president. All of this is not your fault. You're not responsible of all of this chaos. But people below you have to be responsible and be more communicative with the commuters, because the commuters need to know what is going on and why the Long Island Railroad is on a downfall again. And one of those people is here, and that person should either get fired or resign, because we don't want to be like in the Patrick Nowakowski days. This has to stop, and it has to stop today. So that's all I have to say for this month.
All right, so pretty much Jason Pinero was pretty much giving a tease of what Matt Camper was going to say later on. Now, you know I'm a big movie buff, and you know I love my movie trailers, and I've been happy that this week Pixar, off topic for a second, released 2 teasers for Toy Story 4. So pretty much that's what Jason's job was. He was like the teaser trailer guy that you normally hear, and Jason did a terrific job. I think, Jason, if you're watching this video with that voice, I'm telling you right now, I would love for you to, like, be a narrator for a movie. Because with your voice, it would be entertaining, and the crowd would love it. Definitely gave me a good first impression, that's for sure. So now, guess who's coming up? The man who always makes a fool out of himself every month. Murray Bowden. Let's see what he had to say today.
Murray Bowden, I was born June 11, 1933, and I...
Wait, what? Let's rewind this. He's already making a fool out of himself. Like, let's slow it down so you all get the point.
The most important thing was the happened
Hang on.
a search I don't have.
Here we go.
My name is Maury Bowden. I was born June 11, 1933. And
No offense, but no one wants to know when your actual date of birth was. This is a committee meeting, not a luncheon. You know what? Let's just fast forward Murray's comments, shall we?
I say that so when there's a search, I don't have to
Here we go.
easily found on a video, and I don't have to foil anything. The most important
That's
thing
better.
was that happened at the Metro North meeting this morning, the discussion of the change in culture. Susan spoke, Veronica spoke, Chuck, Norm. It's the first time there was recognition. Hi, Chuck, I was just talking about you. About what you said at the first meeting, and it was so important what you all said, was a recognition that the culture of the MTA has changed. You introduced new people who are bringing new skills. That's an incredibly important change, and more important than anything else I would have said at this meeting this morning. People are being recognized for who they are. People are giving the opportunity to speak up who could not speak up. One of the reasons I get to say all of these crazy things up here
And look at that. There's Matt Camper.
is because if anybody else says them, they get demoted, or they get sent out to the sticks, or they get a bad job, or they don't get a lot of stuff. So I've been able to talk about this. That seems, if I make a mistake in the words, it's because I am losing the ability to find the right words at the right time, and I know it. Yeah, Chuck, you were right on this morning. What you started to talk about, all of it, and followed up by Norm and everybody else. You indicated some of the changes that need to be done here. They've started. They will continue. Not I hope they will continue. You've raised good issues. Follow them up.
Oh boy. Again, every month he does this. Every month he does this. It really gets annoying, alright? He rambles on and on and on and on and on. You know, I mean, I know I work with the residents at Osnum, but and again, you know, I'm used to it. But come on, outside of work, this is supposed to be about the MTA. I'm telling you, if one day I just know something's gonna happen, and Murray's gonna be banned from the building. I know I'm saying a bad thing here, but you know, if he keeps behaving, again, I'm not gonna say it. I just don't. I said it last month. I don't want to say it every month, but every month we have to deal with him. And again, every month I look forward to hearing Jason Pinero's comments and Omar Vera's comments, and yet Murray just kills the whole mood. I don't know how much more of him I can take. I really don't. Now we get to the good part. The most anticipated public speaking moment in the history of committee meetings. Today, this actually set a precedent for the board's meeting. Normally, people do not watch the board meetings, but this guy today, at one time, 300 people were watching this person live on the MTA stream today. Without further ado, let's go to a very personal friend of mine who I have known for the past 15 years.
Good morning, LIR Committee, Chairman Mitch Pally, and President Philip Eng, and the members of the LIR Committee. My name is Matt Camper, and I'm a fellow LIR rider and advocate for the MTA. I want to address with you all this morning about my feelings on what has happened to the LIR since President Nowakowski has left. There could be things that I could suggest to you all this morning, from communicating temporary platforms better, to schedules with the temporary platforms, to giving flyers to the main line from the Babylon Bridge, which it's needed badly, to even communication. But over the last 7 months, the LIR has forgotten about the main line of the LIR and given the treatment to a certain demographic along the South Shore. The LAR has done so much to us riders of the LAR, from putting temporary platforms at Kew Gardens, Forest Hills, and Woodside several weekends, mostly on weekends, for 7 months, and not caring about major events going on from MSG to even Citi Field. The main line hasn't even seen any improvement with scheduling from the additional service along the Ronkonkoma branch, with the double track project now in place, to giving flyers to the main line from the Babylon branch. Also, out of the entire LAR system, the Babylon branch gets the most trains and the most flyers because of not just the LAR, but because of the demographics. They get their own private trains to themselves and don't even have to stop at Jamaica. That's not right. Their trains aren't even crowded, and especially when there's an issue with the LAR, they can't even stop at Jamaica to help customers from other lines get into Manhattan quicker. Also, people trying to transfer Jamaica to and from Hunters Point Avenue or Atlantic Terminal in Brooklyn have to wait a half hour for train service because the LAR has way too many flyers along the Babylon branch. I feel that it has to change immediately. I know that President Eng is trying to fix this the best he can, but I think it's better of the people around him, like Executive Vice President Lisa Pecos. This is why I'm calling today on not just her to resign, but also I'm calling on every single management person from the LAR under the Nowakowski administration to also resign.
Mr. Camper, please wrap up your remarks.
On behalf of my fellow riders, we would love to see President Eng to clean house and make the LAR a better railroad for everyone once and for all. I have a copy for you, President Eng, of the speech, along with a couple of suggestions on behalf of myself and my fellow riders. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you very much.
All right. I know personally Matt was going to address some of these issues, and I'm very happy that he talked about what's going on the Babylon branch. It's again the same management, and I thought originally he was not going to call out Elisa Pica, but that took courage and that took guts. So, to my personal friend of mine, I know he's watching this. I know he is. Thank you again for taking a stand against the corruption going on at the LIRR. And I know he will agree with me on this. I still wish there were more flyers going to Hicksville. But no, you don't want to do that. So obviously, give credit to Matt. He spoke his mind, and especially how Matt was able to summarize his remarks and made his points very clear. So, the last speaker today was actually somebody who normally speaks at New York City transit meetings. You're going to be surprised to see who came up to the stage today.
Our final speaker is Omar Vera.
Now, this is interesting. Just watch this.
Good morning, MTA Board's LIR Committee. Welcome to the November edition of your meeting. Isn't it interesting how 2018 has flown by fast? Next month is the last meeting of the year.
And new schedule start on January 7th.
And we'll be in 2019. Anyway, on to business.
Had to bring it up.
Like I suggested before, we should have a like Second Avenue Subway has theirs. We need an information center for East Side Access. And I also like to elaborate what Jason and Matt said regarding temporary platforms. I understand why they're there, but like I said, 7 months is a bit too long for these platforms because they obstruct service, because they often cross over tracks. Hence they're supposed to be temporary; they can't be permanent. So, but I would suggest one more thing, just like I suggested regarding that LIR air train ticket machines at Atlantic Barclays. We should also have a special discounts for those who are riding from Penn Station to Woodside to go to LaGuardia. Just like I suggested the LIR air train for JFK at the Atlantic Terminal, Flatbush Avenue. Because like I said, we're supposed to always improve service. And of course, with the new government coming in Albany in January, we'll be able to get more funding for improving our transportation network. And yes, and so also one more thing, I'd like to thank former Chairman Loda for his service during his second tenureship as chair of the MTA. Give him my regards. And with that, everything else is good. Thanks a lot, and happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Thank you very much.
And that was the last of the speakers. That was the last of them. And Omar was very enthusiastic. But let's hope that the funding will come in, because we do need funding. Maybe, who knows? Maybe if there is a benefit for traveling in New York City for the LaGuardia Airport, that would be good. I would love that. I would love that. I would love to see more funding. Because if I see some funding in, maybe it'll be good. Maybe it'll be fine. That we can get more funding for, I don't know, the double track project too? Actually, no, the third track. That's what I was thinking. The one between Floral Park and Hicksville. We do need it. Alright, and there's proof that the railroad keeps growing. And in order to continue that growth, progress. That's what we need. And if we continue making the progress, then we'll have a better railroad. But until then, things need to start changing. That's why we have our advocates. They're doing a great job listening to our concerns, and they're doing a whole lot better than, honestly, the railroad is these days. We get our chance, but we have Jason, we have Matt, who talks about the railroad all the time, and a couple seconds you're going to see what happened at the New York City meeting today. So now we will go to the New York City video. It seems Jason Pinero was good luck. I gotta admit, he's good luck, because he got to speak first again today at the New York City meeting. So now we will listen to his comments.
Good morning, Freddie and Andy Byford. Here I am once again on another transit
Freddie.
committee.
Fernando Finera.
Andy, I know that you want to take note about this. Since last week, I've been commuting to Staten Island, and I'm having concerns regarding the headways on the S40 and S90. That the S90 should be operating on rush hours, AM and PM, because we have a lot of influx of Amazon employees to and from the warehouse that's on the West Shore, and to and from the Staten Island Ferry.
Exactly, and it's not fair that... I know what Jason's talking about, alright? Staten Island is a small place, and what I can't understand is, again, Staten Island is, again, still the worst borough for bus service, and yet, it's unfair to people like Jason, who work for Amazon, can't get to their jobs because the MTA is just not doing their job. So, hopefully there is more headway, because you can see how overcrowded the buses will get anyway. But to have them in the rush hours, I do agree that if, they can look into it, and Daryl Ira can look into it, then hopefully Jason and other people will be able to get to where they need to go.
And I love my new commute, but one question that I have that should be kind of answered. Is it the design build, let's say, effective? Because there has been reports that 72nd Street has been reported leaking for the past few weeks, and I haven't seen no USB charging ports in the stations in Manhattan that were under ESI. So I want to know if these features are going to be added eventually, but let's see what we could do. And that's all I have to say for this month.
That is very concerning. I hope it's not like the west end at Penn Station where it's leaking. But the same thing is happening at 72nd Street, and I know what Jason's talking about on the B and the C line. Oh boy, I hope this is not happening at 72nd Street, because this concerns me if it's happening at 86th Street. And then my concern is when 57th Street and 23rd Street reopen on the F line, what's going to happen if those stations start leaking? I'm really worried about these renovations on the F line. And Jason, I know you don't want to concern me, but listen, I'm concerned right now. And as I said, I am going to make it a priority in January to go to the newly reopened stations on the F line, because I do want to see them for myself and do station tours of them. So let's continue.
Thank you, Mr. Pinheiro. The next speaker is Murray Bowden, and
Oh,
Mr. Bowden
no!
will be followed by Omar Vera.
Let's fast forward. I'm sorry. I have to do this. I have to fast forward Murray. I can't listen to him.
Today. Something that happened that will change New York.
And the annoying thing about my Wi-Fi is I hate when my Wi-Fi does this. All right. Thankfully, it's loading. Hopefully, I can fast forward Murray. Thank
City
you.
Forever. Amazon. Amazon announced it's coming to Long Island City. And that's going to have an impact that you cannot imagine. Polly, I need to talk to you because you're really right in the front and center of this. Sorry about that, because...
Whoa. I actually have to slow him down. Did he just mention Polly Trottenberg? Oh, boy, this is too good. Let's slow him down.
To get your department straightened out with the lines and the signs. They're not. I don't know, I guess you know about me in New Jersey and the manual. You've gotten the emails, I hope you read them. The state of New Jersey has decided they're going to bring roads and lines in correct, I can't get words because my mind's going, correctly in with the manual uniform traffic controls, and I've been assigned sort of to work with Kevin Dunn to do it. The commissioner knows me for at least 10 months because I speak at the New Jersey Turnpike and the Transit, and she's chair of both, so she knows my qualifications. It's time to change around here, and the two things that you're concerned with to move traffic faster are the signs, the lines, and enforcement. I can't do it. I'm losing the ability to find the right words to make these presentations. It's my grandson's turn and everybody else's turn. Chuck, you were in the right talking about the lights, railroad crossings, and the cameras. Follow up on it. They're ready to hear you. That's different. What the diversity discussion this morning with everybody repeated the second time, right on. This place is changing rapidly. Young people were being brought in to help with diversity and various other things. It's moving forward. Needs to be done New York City DOT as well. Sorry, but you're behind.
Wow. I actually never thought that I would have to slow down Murray, not slow down, make Murray's comments fast. But wow. Lately, I can't stand him during the Long Island Railroad meetings. But I'm telling you, in the past couple of months, Murray's actually done good jobs giving reasonable explanations for New York City Transit. So I don't know. It's like I don't know. You know how I have a love-hate relationship with our president? It's the same thing with Murray. It's the same thing with Murray. I love him for New York City Transit, but for the Long Island Railroad, that's a whole different story. Alright, so next up we're going to listen to Omar's comments.
Thank you, Mr. Bowden. The next speaker is Omar Vera, who will be followed by Pedro Valdez Rivera.
So I will fast forward that part.
Good morning, MTA boards.
That was an epic fail. I'm sorry. I have to play that again. I have to play it again. Here we go. Watch this.
Good morning, MTA boards. Transit and Bus Committee, welcome to the November edition of your meeting on the week before Thanksgiving week. All right, let me just take the moment to congratulate everybody here for finally deciding the L train reconstruction tunnel start of date of April 27th, Saturday, April 27th, 2019.
And I will quickly mention it again. I am making it official. In March, I will be riding the L train to the 8th Avenue 14th Street station from Brooklyn. It is official. I'm just going to come up with a tentative date, but that will be a part of what I like to call the L Train Summit, because I want to take a ride on the L before it shuts down. And I'm going to make it a priority, everyone. Believe me. I quickly want to apologize, everyone. I had to help my dad with Mozilla Firefox and the computer downstairs because it just wouldn't open, and I had to reinstall it just now on my dad's computer, which I quickly want to mention off topic. Thank goodness for the roaming file, because Windows didn't have that feature on app data. And I'll quickly mention, you type in run and you do that, hit app data, it comes right up. So if you ever have that problem, don't worry about uninstalling Firefox. But thank goodness I'm using Chrome. So let's continue with Omar's comments, because I remembered I was talking about how I'm going to cover the L train shutdown next year, which get more details to come in 2019.
This has been planned since 2016. This whole thing, and we need to get the tunnel fixed.
And again, it's going to take 15 months. The L train's not going to be reopened until July of 2020. So this was lesser of the two evils to have this shutdown, and then hopefully in July of 2020, the L train will come back.
I know it's been over 6 years since the Frankenstorm, that is Superstorm Sandy, struck the New York area, and like I said, many tunnels have already been finished, but the Canarsie Tunnel needs the work done. We don't want any more unexpected changes, and you decided back in 2016 it was going to be both tunnels shut down for repairs, and so I give you 2 thumbs way up for moving this in orderly fashion and for speeding up the project. Hopefully it'll be finished within 15 months. And of course, with the new government coming in Albany, the new state government, they could perhaps provide windfall funds for even more projects for that, and that will be further your
Albany, you have one job. I'm sorry for mentioning this again. We need a station rehab at Kew Gardens Union Turnpike. It needs to be done. Not just the station, but the signals and the tracks need work too. The Democrats have one chance to not mess this up. Please, I am begging you. In fact, I'm sorry for saying this. John Liu, if you care about this district and you know how important it is for me to use the Kew Gardens Union Turnpike station, get the funding done. So sick and tired of seeing an old decrepitated station like my station, Kew Gardens Union Turnpike, on the E and the F train. I'm sorry for making a little rant there, but I'm still annoyed that I have to go down there. And yet, how in the world does other stations in Queens look better? Even Jamaica Center looks better on the E and the J line. Continue, Omar.
The fast forward agenda of modernizing the system top to bottom. And so, another suggestion, one more thing I should mention regarding the Canarsie reconstruction. It's good that you're finally starting the ferries and the SPS and all that services the week before the actual reconstruction starts, just to see, make sure that passengers, displaced passengers and others can have a little taste of alternate L service before the real thing happens. It's like practice for training. To err is human, practice makes perfect. And so I still reiterate, we should have, before the shutdown, or before reconstruction, sorry, that there should be a free out-of-system transfer between 8th Avenue, the Google stop, and the 7th, 6th Avenues station complexes. Thank you so much, and happy Thanksgiving.
Well, I'll quickly mention this. The last time I was actually on a ferry was 2016. I actually did a round trip to and from Cape May and Lewes, Delaware, because I wanted to do some sightseeing and look out for any whales, because they actually do hang around the Atlantic. But for this ferry, it'll be interesting because I'm going to be going to Brooklyn, and I'm actually going to be taking the ferry to see what the M14L is going to look like, because I am curious to see how this is going to benefit going to 23rd Street and Come to think of it, no. Right, I know it's for a fact. The B and the D don't stop at 23rd Street. So again, this is why I'm hoping that when we do get the station reopened for the F and the M, it needs to be reopened immediately. Because this station's going to serve a necessary importance to how you're going to have people take the F and the M train to get over on the M14L.
Thank you, Mr. Vera. The next speaker is Pedro Valdez Rivera,
My bad, 23rd Street's going to be important. Yeah, 23rd Street, that's the one.
who will be followed by Matt Camper.
So let's fast
Good
forward
morning.
to
My
Matt
name is
Camper.
Pedro Valdez with
Matt Camper. Mr. Camper will be followed by Seth Rosenberg.
Yeah, so that's pretty much the last speaker we do want to focus on in this video. So Matt Camper did something very important today for Northeast Queens. So I suggest you all listen. I will not interrupt him.
Good morning, New York City Transit Committee. I want to talk to you all about a couple of things this morning. And the first thing is regarding the Queens subways. I have a friend who uses the Q46 all the time, which is, of course, run out of the Queens Village Bus Depot. And I want to address an urgent issue with you all about the Queens Village Bus Depot that he sent me. In the past year, maintenance practically with the Orion 7 Origin has gotten worse due to the part that a strong possibility of former NICE bus employees from Nassau County are working for the depot. It's also not the maintenance that's the issue. Sometimes the buses are not up to the MTA's policy of satisfactory conditions. In most cases, the buses have trash inside, and even in some cases, the buses have been vandalized with graffiti, which is, of course, against the law to violate MTA property. And in one more point, sometimes runs are even not filled or show up late. And this is also in some cases happening also at the Casey Steingle Bus Depot in Queens. And he also suggests to look into this because this needs to be addressed immediately, and hopefully this issue can be investigated. And one more thing I'm going to mention is about the Fair Fare program. I really am 100% in favor of this program, especially because those New Yorkers can't afford possibly $2.75 for whatever reason, and I've seen that the Atlantic ticket is on the Long Island Railroad is really a huge success, and I would love to see this program come to New York City Transit to help New Yorkers get around wherever they need to be at, whether it's work, school, doctor's appointment, or other things. So thank you so much.
All right, big round of applause to Matt Camper for bringing up Queens Village today. Very important that he brought it up for me because, honestly, again, no one from Queens goes to these meetings. All right, and I'll make one more point. You all saw what happened today on Union Turnpike. And as I said before, and I'll say it again, all right, I have to continue covering what's going on here in Queens because you're not going to get more Queens than Andy's Randomness. That's for sure. You're not going to hear a transit advocate for you here in Queens. I'm going to be around no matter what happens. I'm making it a priority. And yes, even though, again, I do want to do other stuff that's not in Queens, you know, I want to make it a priority that Queens will be my number one priority. I'm from Queens. You know I have Queens blood in me. I am not going to give up on Queens anytime soon. I'm making it a priority for everyone right now. You all have my word. Queens is my home. As long as I'm still here, I'm going to talk about what's really going on here. So, there really aren't that many other public speakers of importance. Let's just see what we got here on the bottom. Yeah, the lady in the wheelchair. She always shows up every month, the disability person. So I got to watch this on my own. I'm actually going to watch this, the Andy Byford comments right after I get this edited. So, that's going to wrap it up. Thank you all for watching this month's reaction video. Next month, of course, will be the last one for 2018, which, even though, again, Matt Camper will not be at the committee meeting, it'll still be interesting to hear what Murray and Jason Panero are going to have to say every month. So that's going to wrap it up. Thank you all for watching. Until the next one, please take care.